Welcome to Midnight True Tales, where true stories are stranger than fiction. Turn off the lights, and now, let's begin. It was normal at first. Coffee after workouts, late night drives to grab a cheat meal, dinner dates that stretched past closing hours. But before any of that, it started at the gym. I was finishing a set of squats when he stepped closer and said quietly, "Your back's rounding. You will hurt yourself like that." I almost ignored him. But he wasn't cocky. He wasn't flirting. He asked before adjusting my shoulders. He stepped back immediately after. Didn't linger. The next day, he nodded at me. The day after that, he asked if I wanted coffee after our workouts. It became routine. We would leave the gym sweaty and exhausted, walk across the street and sit by the window. Protein shakes some days, real coffee other days. He always remembered exactly what I ordered. He was funny, gentle, the kind of person who made you feel safe just by being near them. Late night drives turned into cheat meals at midnight, sitting in the parked cars under streetlights, music low, windows cracked. It felt normal. That's what makes it hard to explain. After a few weeks sitting in the car outside my apartment, he told me, "I need to tell you something." He stared straight ahead. He had recently been diagnosed with schizophrenia. He said it carefully, like he was bracing me for me to leave. But I didn't. I told him it didn't change how I felt, and for a while it didn't. At first, it was small things. He would glance behind me, mid-conversation. At the cafe, he would stop mid-laugh, head tilted slightly, listening. At the gym once, he dropped a weight suddenly and whispered, "Did you hear that?" I hadn't. He told me about the voices slowly. "They whisper," he said. "Sometimes they argue, sometimes they just comment." "Comment on what?" I asked. "Everything." He said they were not always cruel. Sometimes they were just curious about me. Then one night, after a late workout, he asked me to come over. His voice sounded different this time, almost excited. His apartment was dim, blinds drawn, only one lamp on. The hum of the refrigerator filled the silence. He was pacing back and forth, like he was waiting for someone else to arrive. "They would have been asking about you," he said suddenly. "Who?" I laughed nervously. He stopped, looked at me calmly. "Them, the ones you can't see yet." My stomach tightened. He tilted his head slightly, listening to something over my shoulder. I told them, "You would come." The room went still. My ears started ringing. And then, under the hum of the refrigerator, I heard it. Faint murmuring, layered like a dozen voices whispering at once. Overlapping breathing too fast to understand. I turned toward the kitchen. Nothing. The sound didn't stop. It didn't get louder. It just existed. Beneath everything. He smiled, softly, relieved. "You heard them now too?" I felt that night, shaken. I told myself it was suggestion, nerves, imagination. But the whispers didn't stop. I heard them in my apartment, under the TV, under the shower, and the spaces between my thoughts. Sometimes they say my name, sometimes they just breathed. Once, laying in bed, I felt something warm against my ear. Like breathe. I turned the lights on. Nothing. He texted me a few days later. They like you. They said you listen better than I do. I blocked him. I tried to forget about him. But the voices didn't go away. 3 months of torture. My doctor said stress can do strange things to the brain. That I probably observed his paranoia. Maybe. Slowly the whispers faded, less frequent, less clear, until they were gone. It's been years since that night. The voices are gone, but the memory isn't. I work at a mental health clinic now. Every day I sit across from people who hear things no one else can hear. When they describe the whispering, the overlap in the breathing, sometimes my stomach drops because it sounds familiar, too familiar. I don't tell them. I help them ground themselves. I remind them what's real, but sometimes late at night, when the lights flicker, when the room goes quiet, when the hum of something electrical fills the silence, I strain to listen. And every once in a while, just beneath the quiet, I think I still hear them. Layered, whispering, and sometimes very faint. I hear his voice among them. Calm, certain. See? I told them you would come. And that's it, the end of our story. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed tonight's story, do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. We upload every Monday and Thursday. Until then, stay safe, and I will see you again.